Welcome, Fearless Trainers, back to Fearless Training TV. That's Fttv. And today the weather is not the best, but it is the ever-changing, always amazing Gold Coast, so I'm sure it will brighten up soon. It always does. It always does. It's always changing. It's always amazing. And I'm not just talking about the weather either. So today I want to talk about a carb is a carb. Carbohydrates. A carbohydrate is a carbohydrate. One of the most common misconceptions. There is a lot of confusion. Again, let's keep it simple. Let's get to the point. Let's get straight into it. First of all, let's look at the two types of carbohydrates that we've got. For the most part, we have a simple carbohydrate. Makeup. So if we look at it and we look at the breakdown, like in the image that we just viewed, we can see that it's very simplistic compared to the complex carbohydrate, which we'll look at in a second. It's very simplistic, which means the body is able to break it down much faster, which is why we always hear that simple carbs are fast energy or fast absorbing energy, and it's quick to get in the system and give us this energy boost, or so they say. The glycemic index is the next little point that we should definitely have a look at here and identify. The glycemic index is basically an index of carbohydrates from the least, the slow absorbent, to the most fast absorbing carbohydrates. So for example, you have rice somewhere down lower on the scale, and right at the top we've got glucose, sugar, sweets, jelly beans, things like this, bread. Things that contain a lot of the simple carbohydrates, being more so the sugars. So a carbohydrate and a sugar are the same thing. It's just that sugar is a carbohydrate at its more simplest form. Now, the complex carbohydrate, as so, it is more complex, so of course the body's going to take longer time to break it down. Therein gives you longer lasting energy at a more slow digested controlled rate, and that is typically because it takes the body longer to absorb them. Very, very simple. Now, looking at it from a bodybuilding or healthy living point of view, it is said that we're meant to stay away from the simple carbohydrates, and we should really focus on getting the complex carbohydrates in because sugar is bad, or so they say. Well, it's not, because it's the same thing. Now, where a lot of this confusion stems from is, I think, is society and people's perception that sugar or simple carbohydrates are generally bad, because generally they're associated with, or they are contained in, things like the high manufactured sweets, they're in the sugary donuts, fast foods, white breads, generally associated with things, again, that are related to obesity. But again, that is only because people who are getting obese and eating those foods that are more calorically rich are not controlling their intake. Now, that doesn't mean to say that if they had complex carbohydrates that they wouldn't get obese as well, because, well, the fact of the matter is they would, because a carb is a carb and calories are calories, which you know, or which now you should know. So it doesn't matter generally what carbohydrates you have, it's going to be metabolized the same in the body. So for example, brown rice is going to be metabolized the same as a sugary donut. However, the donut might be absorbed faster because it contains more sugar, which is more simple carbohydrates, so it's easier to break down. It's much faster absorbing. That's why they say it gives you this fast energy. There is no reason why you have to eat complex all the time. The biggest reason why we possibly should, and why it is a good idea to eat more complex carbohydrates, is because A, they will make you feel full for longer, generally because they have got more calories in them. They generally contain more carbohydrates. It's a more complex makeup. For example, if I have 200 grams of brown rice, I'm going to get a lot more energy from it generally than possibly I'm going to get a lot more carbohydrates from it, say from a banana, which may contain more sugar, more simple carbohydrates. But the complex carbohydrates in the rice will give me that long-lasting, prolonged energy source, which I want. The last point we need to look at here is the fact that within generally a complex carbohydrate or a healthier carbohydrate, which we have mentioned in the past videos, is that you're going to get a lot of the micronutrients from it as well. 9 times out of 10 there is going to be more benefit, there is going to be more beneficial nutrients within a complex carbohydrate. For example, again, brown rice has a lot of fiber in it. It's got some vitamins, minerals. It is a good choice over a donut, which may contain the same calories. It may, for argument's sake, even contain the same amount of carbohydrates, but I'm going to get more from the brown rice. Is a healthier food source. This goes back to moderating the intake. Of course, now and again, hit those simple carbohydrates up. They're good, you need them. They save you time, they give you sanity. Enjoy the things you like. But remember, for the most part, get in the quality food. At the end of the day, you don't want to fill your body with crap. If you want quality, you've got to eat quality for the most part. Use it as a tool. Running low on carbohydrates for the day and you need to top up, sure, chocolate bar every now and again, some Pop-Tarts, some ice cream, something very high in carbs so you don't have to eat a mountain of food to get your calories in, is a great idea. That is one example of using this tool. Or like I do myself, I have some simple carbs every day. I might have a biscuit or a bit of ice cream or a bit of cake just to get those carbs in, and plus it gives me a bit of sanity and enjoyment. I don't need it, I don't have to have it, but I choose to because I track my calories. Keep it simple. Simple carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, they are metabolized the same. Make those healthy choices. Most of the time, choose the complex carbohydrates if they fit your macros. Now and again, splash out, incorporate the simple carbs into your nutrition. Use them, make them work for you, enjoy it. Remember, knowledge is power and wisdom is freedom. Until next time, fearless trainers, this is Alessino, signing out.